Does Red Bull really give you wings? Of course it doesn't. It's only an energy drink. But did you know that the makers of Red Bull had to pay a $13 million fine for those advertisements? The fine wasn't only because of their slogan, it was also because they exaggerated the benefits of their product. They said it was better than a cup of coffee or a caffeine pill. They said it improved mental focus and physical reaction time. And in the end, the company had to pay for it. They had to offer $15 of free merchandise to anyone who drank Red Bull in the past 10 years.
This was a class action lawsuit. Now they owe $13 million to everyone who's ever had a Red Bull.
$15 may not seem like much, but it adds up when you have to give that to everyone who drank your product for a whole decade. It might surprise you that a company could get in that much trouble for something as simple as that. But the US is actually very serious about false advertising. A lot of people think commercials can say anything. You're probably thinking of miracle medicines and diet pills right now, but there are very strict laws about what you can and can't say in your advertisements. It wasn't always like that. There was a time when salesmen could make wild claims that no one could verify. From land ownership scams to healthy cigarettes to benefits of taking cocaine. That's really true, by the way. Cocaine used to be in Coca-Cola. That's where the name came from. That all changed in 1938 thanks to the FTC. That stands for the Federal Trade Commission. They are the government agency that protects consumers from bad business practices. When the FTC began regulating advertising, they focused on many common scams. The first one was misleading claims. This is what happened with Red Bull. A misleading claim is false information about a product's abilities or benefits. If a commercial says, "This pill makes you lose weight," then the FTC requires the company to prove it. They need to provide medical or scientific evidence. If they can't prove it, they can't claim it. And if they try to claim it anyway, they get in trouble and they get fined. That's why you see many ads with very carefully chosen words. Here's a great example. Remember the breakfast cereal Cheerios? The toasted whole grain cereal is considered a healthy alternative. For a long time, Cheerios claimed to be able to lower cholesterol, but the FTC wasn't satisfied they were telling the truth. They sent a warning letter challenging the claim. Guess what Cheerios did? They didn't provide evidence, they simply changed the wording of their marketing. Instead of saying it lowered cholesterol, they said it can help lower cholesterol. That may seem like a small detail, but it's important. After all, Cheerios may help lower cholesterol along with other foods, but if they can't prove it doesn't do that on its own, they can't say it. Another big problem in advertising is false endorsements. That happens when a product implies that a famous person recommends it. Real endorsements happen all the time. One of the most famous celebrity endorsements is Michael Jordan and Nike. Oprah Winfrey was the spokesperson for Weight Watchers for many years. Lots of companies would benefit from celebrity endorsement, but most can't afford it. That's when some companies do it illegally. You've probably seen ads like that on social media. A diet product or pill might have a quick clip of Oprah Winfrey or Mark Cuban, but that clip is not actually an endorsement. It was taken from the episode of a TV series like Shark Tank. That is illegal, and the FTC will go after them. Companies aren't allowed to benefit from an endorsement without permission from the person. So remember, if you ever see me in a commercial, look close. If you don't see me say that I use and recommend the product, it's a scam. I promise, the hammer would never lead you wrong. Another scam some advertisers try to pull is misrepresenting where something is made. For example, some companies will put a Made in the USA label on their products. They know many people want to buy American products, but the FTC has guidelines for what you can claim made in the USA. According to the law, the product has to be one of three things. One, the final assembly of the product is done in the US. 2, all the processing for the product occurs in the US. Or 3, all the product's ingredients or components are made in the US. If at least one of those things isn't true, then you can't legally label it made in the USA. But that doesn't stop some companies from trying. And when the FTC finds out, you have to pay big time. Speaking of paying big time, that's another kind of illegal marketing. Bait and switch marketing and hidden fee marketing. These are ads where they promise something free or cheap, but it's too good to be true. This happened with the company TurboTax. They advertise free tax filing services. Many people wanted to use them to do taxes, only to find out they weren't eligible. They had to pay for an upgraded service. The FTC shut that down quick. They told TurboTax the ads had to make it clear who got it for free. And because of the deception, they had to repay the customers $141 million. This kind of deception happens a lot, but the FTC is always watching. Drinks like 5-Hour Energy and Vitamin Water tried making false claims. They got caught. Philip Morris and Camel cigarettes made claims about lower tar and healthier cigarettes. The FTC said, no way, and they had to stop. Skechers and New Balance shoes claim their shoes helped you get in better shape. ADT Security used endorsements from safety experts without disclosing they were paid. Volkswagen bragged about being environmentally friendly, but they were cheating on emission tests. They were fined $1 billion by the European Commission. That's the largest fine ever for an auto company in history. I know what you're thinking. It sounds like there are no companies you can trust out there. I understand. It can seem like that sometimes. But here's the good news. The FTC is there to protect you from as many of those scammers as possible. They make the fraud stop and make companies pay whatever they find them. And I'm glad they do. I don't like companies that take advantage of the public. This topic is important to me because so many people think that lawyers are not trustworthy. But did you know that lawyers have more advertising rules than any other businesses? Lawyers know the law, so we are held to a higher standard. That means we can be sued and even lose our law license for making false ads. I bet you didn't know that. That's because many companies don't want you to trust lawyers. Lawyers are the only people who have the power to make big companies pay when they do something wrong. Those companies don't like it, so they want you to not trust and not call lawyers. But here's something you should know about me as a lawyer. I never ask for money from a client to take their injury case, and I don't even get paid unless we win or settle the case. Customers are the only reason I'm successful as an attorney, so I care about protecting them. That's why I care about false advertising, because there's a lot of false information out there about attorneys, and that's why I encourage you to protect yourself. The FTC is watching out for you, but you should be careful too. If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Always look up a product before buying it. Check the reviews. Check the FTC website. False advertisers will never go away completely, but if we all work together, we can make it harder for them to fool us. And with the help of the FTC, we can make sure that they are held responsible. And remember, if you ever need legal help of any kind, you know you can call Darryl Isaacs, the Kentucky Hammer. I'll see you next time.